When was the last time you turned off your phone, left all your distractions behind, and spent time alone with yourself? In today's world, information is almost everywhere and available to us anytime we want. Tons of content creators on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram are constantly trying to grab your attention. There are millions of series, movies, and books out there, and even if we live for 500 years, we still wouldn't be able to finish them all. There is practically no escape from this endless cycle of information. Maybe one of the reasons this type of information has become so widespread is that we think it's free, and so we're eager to take advantage of it. But there's a saying, if a product is free, then you are the product. Dr. Jordan Peterson says, face the issues in your life voluntarily before they turn into disasters. So let's face it and see how today's media, and maybe even certain policies, are enslaving our minds. Yes, the modern world is full of information, but are all of them really useful? We watch videos while we eat. We listen to music or podcasts while we study. When we're cleaning the house, we're listening to something again. Even when we go to the bathroom, we take our phone with us. Our addiction to this digital space has become so intense that it's like a train of information is constantly moving, and we're always running after it so we don't fall behind. This overflow of information is so huge that it doesn't let us think properly or make the right decisions in important moments of life. The moments when we must choose between our real responsibilities and scrolling on Instagram. And we can already guess what most people choose. Social media presents information so attractively that real responsibilities no longer seem important. They lose their value. That's why we prefer to sit and drown in this entertaining digital world rather than do our boring daily tasks. You may think we're losing creativity, but the truth is, we don't even give our minds a chance to engage with problems so they can become more creative. Let me ask you something. When was the last time your mind was deeply engaged with a beautiful, meaningful idea? When was the last time you seriously sat down and thought about something? When we dive into our own minds, creativity reaches its peak, but we never give our minds permission to think. Whenever we have a question, the first thing we do is run to Google. But great thinkers of the past would first explore ideas within themselves, using whatever tools they had to solve problems. That's why someone like Leonardo da Vinci, one of the greatest geniuses in history, who some say was the smartest person ever, used to stare at his paintings for hours without doing anything. When we are physically doing nothing, it doesn't mean the brain is inactive. It's actually working hard, organizing and categorizing everything we've absorbed. Einstein's genius truly began when he left school, the moment he was finally free to think deeply without external pressure. Throughout his life, Albert Einstein would walk to clear his thoughts. In 1932, when he went sailing, he wrote to a friend saying that the sea gave him the perfect opportunity to reach maximum peace and look at his ideas from a different perspective. This proves Einstein understood the power of silence. He gave his mind the freedom to travel anywhere it wanted, something most people consider useless, while the greatest minds in history relied on it. We now live with a constant fear of falling behind. If we don't consume new information, we feel bad. This feeling actually has scientific backing. It's the fear of missing out, FOMO. Many people chase trends, fashion, and constant updates simply because they think if they don't know what others know, they'll be behind and feel inferior. Sadly, this mindset is spreading like a virus. Dr. Jordan Peterson, like many great thinkers, believes that our endless entertainment cycles slowly distance us from ourselves. We become trapped in distractions and deeper thoughtlessness, and we must remember what Einstein said. Information is not the same as knowledge. The ironic thing is, if someone asked us why we waste so much time like this, we'd give philosophical justifications like, I'm staying updated to be more aware. But no, you're just feeding your brain useless information, and your brain cannot tolerate this forever. At some point, it shuts creativity down and joins you in meaningless scrolling. Over time, your memory weakens, you become more irritable, and you lose patience. Jordan Peterson says, if you can't understand why someone is doing something, look at the consequences of their actions, whatever they may be, and then infer their motivations. But here's the real issue. What motivation could someone possibly have who scrolls on Instagram for 2 hours, gains nothing, and only fills their brain with trash? That's a problem. This method of mind control has even taken away our motivations. You may say you do it for rest or free time, but my friends, free time means peace, giving your brain space to breathe, not stuffing it with more useless information. A shocking statistic from the US shows that people check their phones 344 times a day. That's once every 4 minutes. And what starts as checking one message quickly turns into Instagram or Telegram scrolling. Today, clinical psychologists encourage parents to let children experience boredom instead of constantly distracting them. But many parents hand their child a tablet to keep them quiet, not realizing what they are doing to their child's mind. Over time, this trains us to rush to social media the moment we feel bored, suffocating our creativity. We must understand that boredom is not bad. Doing nothing actually helps the brain relax and connect ideas. Here's a useful exercise to boost creativity in daily life. For every 30 minutes of work, close your eyes for 10 seconds and think about nothing. Then rest for 5 minutes. And by doing nothing, I mean turning off notifications and putting your phone aside. This is based on the Pomodoro technique, which greatly improves focus and productivity. When you see how creative your mind becomes during stillness, you'll be amazed. You may say, we were born in the age of distraction. We have problems and chaos everywhere. What can we do? But let's look at this double-edged sword differently. In a world where everyone's head is buried in their phone or laptop, achieving success and generating ideas is easier than ever because your competitors are distracted, and that gives you a huge advantage. Jordan Peterson also has several powerful quotes worth mentioning here. The light you discover in your life is proportional to the amount of darkness you are willing to face. What makes people resilient is voluntarily exposing themselves to what frightens them. If you fulfill your responsibilities every day, you won't need to worry about the future. If you don't stand your ground, people will simply push you backward. Treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. When you have something to say, Silence is a lie.